Hey, Joanne Griffith is here. How do you think the NCL court injunction will affect cruise protocols? Unknown at this time. I was talking to a lawyer today about this because it's very unclear, even to the lawyers right now. Does NCL's injunction, preliminary injunction against Florida, affect? Is it just apply to NCL? Do other cruise lines have to basically file a motion as well, or does it apply to all cruise lines? That's a little vague right now. I don't know the answer to that one. If you're unaware, late last night, Sunday, the judge ruled in that lawsuit and favored NCL, Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, against the state of Florida. Basically, they said that that law that Florida has that says you can't mandate, you can't tell someone you can't come out, businesses cannot turn someone away because of COVID status. That law is not I don't want to say it's unconstitutional, but it is the judge ruled that the NCL was right, that they should be able to do that, and granted a preliminary injunction there. So a lot more can happen there, but it remains to be seen. Honestly, Joanne, I don't know how it's going to affect Royal Caribbean, because got to know what's going to happen on that. Some good questions there. Next question from Danielle: what is your favorite thing about Oasis of the Seas? My gosh, what would I pick? There's Aqua 80s. There's the amazing escape room on board. There is Cats, the Broadway musical. There is the Portside Barbecue restaurant, which I absolutely love. There is Izumi Hibachi, which I absolutely love. There is 150 Central Park, which I absolutely love. I'm going to say, you know what? At the end of the day, Danielle, I'm going to give you the answer: Central Park. I'm a Central Park kind of guy. I love the ambiance. I love the dining. I love there's something special about that area. It's something you don't find on other ships, obviously. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Suzanne Turner says, did you have to do a COVID test before you board? I did, and I went today to get it. Suzanne, I went to CVS today, got my COVID test. I'm negative. Good news. And that was it. It's really easy. It's just a matter of just scheduling it more than anything. I was there, it was a little bit of it's a bit of a game right now to get a test, but if you do it in advance, as an example, I actually scheduled my COVID test for my upcoming Mariner cruise in later in August 23rd. And so I scheduled that test for like the 20th or 21st. I forget exactly what day. And I scheduled it that day. And by schedule, when I scheduled today, which is, 2 weeks or so in advance, and there was plenty of availability to book that. So if you plan in advance, I think you'll be fine in terms of being able to find a spot to do it. And it was complimentary. Steve I'm gonna get this right, Steve. Nicola. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Have you ever done Chef's Table? What do you think? Yeah. So Chef's Table is the specialty restaurant option where you have a curated meal. So you go to mostly specialty restaurants. It's like a restaurant kind of at home, right? Sit down at a table. Waiter takes your order. Orders go into the kitchen. They bring out your food. Pretty straightforward, right? Chef's Table is a very intimate experience. It is you and a bunch of other folks, usually around, I want to say about somewhere in the ballpark about 10 or so. It may depend on the ship, but figure around that number. 10 or so people. And it can be, you'll be seen with strangers unless you buy up the whole thing. And there's like multiple courses. The meal experience takes many hours, and each offering each plate is paired with a glass of wine, and the waiter explains to you why you're getting such and such and how it's prepared. The chef comes out. They make this meal specifically for you. It's a very different kind of experience, and I actually enjoyed it. I did it on Mariner of the Seas right before the shutdown, and it was fun. At first, I got in there, and I was like, what am I doing? What have I gotten myself into? And after a little while, I was like, you know what? This isn't really that bad. I actually enjoyed it. Anthony Johnson, when do you think Royal Caribbean will bring back kids sail free? I don't think anyone really knows the answer to that question, Anthony. There's not been a kids sail free offer since for many, many months. There was one at least in the early part of the shutdown, but it has been missing. And I think a lot of folks are waiting for that as well. Devin's got a great question. Is there a list of ships that support 5 people to a cabin? No, there's not a master list. Typically, Devin, you're looking at suites. And when it comes to people who are looking for like Devin, you want to have 5 people in a room. It's actually a mistake. Well, if you got money, okay, maybe not be a mistake. But let me put it this way, Devin. Instead of looking for one room for 5 people, look for 2 rooms, maybe even smaller rooms than maybe that suite that you'd be looking for 5, like a connecting balcony or connecting inside cabin. You're going to find, number 1, more space. Number 2, an extra bathroom. And number 3, probably a better price and separation, which I absolutely love. So I would say go in that direction. Holy moly, 12 man proud with an amazing slap your grandma super chat. Holy moly. Wow. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for posting the entertainment schedule and the message boards. Really helped me plan daily schedules. You know, if the North Star on day 2 and day 7 is worth $29, you get 15 minutes, but they'll swing you over the side of the ship. Let's put it this way. I don't know what days your schedule is, 12th man. I would say this. If those are times in which you're near a glacier, I would say it's worth $29 to me. If you've never done the North Star, number one, you should do the North Star. Number two, if you're paying extra, like, forgive me, I don't know if there's complimentary times and extra cost times or just extra cost times. The North Star is an absolute must do in my opinion. So from that standpoint, yes. But if those days are just like sea days, I would wait for it when it's complimentary. But if it's at a glacier, I think that would be worth it, my friend. I would probably pull the trigger on that one, quite frankly, in my opinion. Luke John, thank you for the super chat. Any update on Labadee? Nothing official. A lot of sailings have had their itineraries changed. As an example, John, I have my Odyssey of the Seas cruise September 5th, and we were supposed to go to Labadee, and they rearranged the entire itinerary. We're not going to Labadee anymore. We're going to Coco Key and now Cozumel and Costa Maya. And that's not the only sailing that has changed. I'm not aware of a formal announcement by Royal Caribbean like, hey, we're not going to Labadee anymore or until this date or something like that. I think they're quite frankly just probably rolling with the punches as well. As things change, they're changing their protocols there. Hey, Allison, going on Harmony in October. What's the new boarding process like? Well, assuming the process in Spain is the same as the boarding process here in the U.S., basically, Allison, number one, before your cruise, you'll have the opportunity to do the online check-in through the Royal Caribbean app. That gives you a check-in time. Then you arrive at that time. Yes, the time matters. You can't just show up at any time you want anymore. Show up at that time. They're going to you'll be providing your vaccination status information. You're going to be obviously showing them that you're checked in. And then basically that's the only major difference. Other than that, then you just go through the terminal, do your usual stuff. The biggest difference, Allison, is that the check-in times are now enforced, and that means they have less people in the cruise terminal. So they try to move you through the entire way rather than the old days of just letting everybody come in there and packing in that waiting area. They just want to keep it as socially distanced as possible, quite frankly. Sheila wants to know, Sheila with an H, on Freedom in 1 week, is the coffee card worth it? It can be. The nice thing about the coffee card is you can share the coffee card with somebody else. So let's say you and your spouse, you and your kids, you and this amazing YouTube blogger who's on your ship that looks like Brad Pitt, you want to share the coffee card, you can, unlike the drink package. So that means you can, the value of it is substantial. It will save you money compared to obviously buying the same amount of coffee drinks a la carte with cash. So yes, it can be worth it. Again, Sheila, you've got to make sure you use up all the card by the end of the cruise to make it worthwhile. So do we have to wear trackers in the pool? Are they waterproof? So let me be very clear, Tammy. They're not waterproof, but that's not what I'm going to be clear about. As of right, unless something has changed, tracelets are not being required on all ships yet. I wore one on a test cruise on Allure, but like as an example, folks that went on the first Odyssey of the Seas cruise, revenue sailing, did not have to have it. So it's unclear yet if they're going to be required or not. But no, you would not wear them in the pool. They're not waterproof. Any idea what to do if the test shows positive? Well, if you're doing it at home, I would recommend you get another test done. I would also recommend you probably get a PCR test. They're more accurate. They take a little bit longer. That's why I would say do it as early as you can, the antigen test. But I would do a PCR test. If that came back positive, you got COVID, dude. You ain't going on your cruise. But yeah. But take another test would be probably the best course of action right there. Bought my first cruise to Hawaii on Ovation next September. Anything I should expect from this is a repositioning cruise or other first-timer tips? Ooh. Well, there's a lot of first-timer tips. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know where I could really start. Number one, when it's a repositioning cruise, you're going to have very few children on board, which may or may not matter to you. I don't know if it really does. Number two, a lot of sea days. But what's nice about it is take advantage of all the, I mean, you're on an awesome ship. So you'll have plenty of time to see it and do it all. Usually I tell people, your first cruise, you really can't do it all. But depending on how long your repo cruise is, it might actually be able to do it all. There's enough time for all of that. So you never know. All right. Well, on that note, guys, we're going to head on out of here. We've reached an hour. Holy moly, time flies. But you know what? If you were saying, Matt, I would love more YouTube fun here, talking Royal Caribbean. Wish granted, guys, because I'm going to be on Mariner of the Seas Wednesday. How about a live broadcast on Wednesday from Mariner of the Seas and Thursday from Perfect Day at Coco Key? We're back again, baby. In the meantime, check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Plenty more Royal Caribbean news, information, fun, advice. It's all waiting for you guys at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Until then, till our next broadcast, have a great day, everybody. Enjoy, stay safe out there, do something fun, and we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. See you guys.